In this video, we're going to think about paragraphs 6, 7, and 8. We've looked in paragraph 5 at the devastating blow, as Westphal puts it, that Hume and Kant offered to the metaphysical proofs, which had served as the underpinning for the deist project, and what had enabled them to have confidence to speak about God. After the devastating blow, this confidence was lost, and so there was an attempt by a number of philosophers to respond to that, not least Kant and Hume, who represent two quite different approaches. Now, I'm going to be looking in this particular video at Kant's response. In a subsequent video, I'm going to look at Hegel and Schleiermacher, and then I'm going to look at the Humean responses offered by Hume, Marx, Nietzsche, and Kierkegaard. Now, when we're thinking about Kant's response and how Kant sought to rebuild the deist project, to place the deist project on a new set of foundations, I would recommend breaking it into 3 shorter paragraphs. I think 3 shorter paragraphs is the way to go. I mean, you can, if you wish, blend them into longer paragraphs. Certainly, I think that the third point is by far the most important, and so if time is too short, that's where you'd want to put your attention. But let's go through these 3 principles that Westphal identifies. In the first place, Westphal holds that Kant is saying that morality does not need religion at all, that you can be wholly moral without requiring any form of religious justification for that. And in order to illustrate this, we can really jump back over to the categorical imperative and the emphasis that Kant lays upon morality being entirely autonomous. After all, if we remember, if you're being moral, I should do air quotes around that, if you're being moral because God tells you to, or the Bible tells you to, or anything else, then you're not being properly autonomous, you're being heteronymous. And so this is an important element to what Kant is talking about. In the second instance, he says that morality leads inevitably to religion, and this is a reminder of the moral argument for God. The ought implies can, we ought to aim for the summum bonum, all that kind of business. I'd keep that really brief. I mean, it's worth a mention, it's worth kind of showing that you know what it is, but at the same time, you really don't want to get into a kind of long, kind of detailed exposition of the argument. The third point, and this is in many respects I think the key bit, is the view that religion is purely for the purpose really of morality. Westphal says that religion is viewing moral commands as divine commands. But what he means by that is to say that essentially what religion is for the purpose of morality. So if you're pursuing religion for the sake of religion, Westphal and Kant, in essence, is saying that you're falling into the trap of a fetish faith, a view of seeing religious activities or things as special in themselves, as having some special significance in themselves, and which is unjustifiable to Kant. And so really, baptism, communion, church attendance, prayer, the only real purpose of these things is morality. So in essence, what Kant is saying, and this is the most important thing to be drawing out, is that what would a religion look like in the age of reason? What would religion look like? Essentially, it would look like morality. It would look like an endorsement, an encouragement, a facilitator for our moral development, and no more. That's the key thing.